Hello everyone, welcome to Zaref Game Dev. In this video, I'm going to be creating the Hop game in Unity. So it's an infinite runner game, and similarly, it's a ball type, and the ball just moves on to the next steps, and the steps are like pretty much in the same, what do you call it, same ground or the same y direction, and it will spawn randomly at some left or right. And yep, that's it. And let's see how we are going to create this game. So I opened up a basic Unity project and deleted the main scene and created the new scene and renamed it as gameplay. And these are the folders, the materials, the models, which I have added the diamond model. And then we have folder for prefabs and scenes, which just contains the gameplay scene. And I also created the lighting settings, which you can go inside the window and there in the lighting and the rendering. And there's a folder for the scripts, in which there's game manager script for now, and sprites, which contains the diamond sprite which we are going to use, and I already imported the text mesh pro. So let's start creating the game. So let's have our first core text. So it's going to be pretty much easier. So let's set the width 200 and height to 200. And if we position it towards the center, and let's increase the size to 128, make it bold, and let's set it to 00. So that's how it's looking for now. And if we position from the top, and let's position it negative 300, so that is our scores going to be. And let's increase its size to 160. So that's it for the score. Now let's add an image and we'll add the diamond to it. So for the diamond, for the sprite, we are going to use our diamond sprite, and let's set it to red for now, and we'll set its color later. And it's going to be positioned from the top right. Let's increase size to 150 by 150 and negative 75, negative 75. And if we position a little bit 100, and similarly for the Y 100, we should be able to see it. And for the diamond, similarly we add a text mesh pro, and let's call it diamond count. And for the diamond count, for now it's going to say 0, and let's set its color to black, and let's increase it width to something like 400 by 200. Let's change its position to scale to, or sorry, what it's font size to 96, and we'll position with reference towards the left, and we'll position it at negative 100. So that's how diamond's going to look. And after we have a diamond, we'll add a quit button. So UI button text mesh pro, and we'll call it quit, and it's not going to have any transitions, no colors. Its width is going to be 500, and the height, let's make it 150, and we'll position it from the top. Let's position the X scale to be 250 and the Y scale to be 75. And similarly, its text, we are going to set it to 96, and it's already black, and it's just going to say quit. So that's how our quit button is going to text, and let's call it quit text. And we have our three basic texts, and now let's create a start button. So let's create a UI button text mesh pro, and we'll call it start, and let's change its size to 1000 by 1000, and no transitions, and we'll set the color to be transparent. And for the text, we are going to call it start text, and it's just going to say tap to play. Let's increase the size to 128 and let's make it bold. So there's our buttons going to be. Now, after having a button, we should not be able to see the score for now, and it should be all right. Here we have our button. Now, up, up, up will have a title. So let's call it title. And similarly, it's going to be 128 bold. Let's make it black. Let's increase the size to 800 by 150, and the title is just going to say hop. And if you position towards the center, and it's already from the center, negative 500, positive 500, 700, or maybe 750, 700. Okay, so that's where our hop text is going to be. And let's make it a little bit larger. So let's make it 160, and it's already bold. And beneath this hop text, we'll have our high score text, which is going to show the high score. So for the high score, let's have it 00, and we'll position it at 5450. And similarly, its size is going to be a little bit smaller, and instead of 00, it's going to say best 00, and instead of 96, let's make it 96. So that's how our start screen is going to look. Now similarly with the start, we'll create a restart button. So let's create a UI button, Xmesh Pro, and let's call it restart. And let's delete this restart. Let's duplicate the start and let's rename it to restart. Hmm. Okay. So this is the restart button, and it will not have the title text. And instead of the start text, we'll call it end text because it's going to show the end text. And maybe we'll need to do something else. So yep, let's do something else. So let's create a UI and let's hide our start, and let's create a UI and let's create a button, and we'll just call it restart, and let's make it 500 by 150 and 800 by 200, and let's set its color red for now. And if we make the text white, we should be able to see what it's going to say. So we'll just call play again. It's already bold. Let's make it size 128, and it's not fitting. Okay, 96 should suffice. There's a restart button, and let's call it end text, or yep, let's just call it end text. And now from our quit button, let's copy our high score and let's have it as a parent of our restart, and we'll call it high score end. So this one also shows the high score. So we have our basic UI setup. We'll change its functionalities afterwards. So now we'll need to create a platform, and we'll need to set a platform moving. So first let's create our materials. So the materials which I'm going to use are, we are the white. Let's rename it, and we'll have a material for the black, and it's not going to be pure black. 65, 65, and 65, a little bit grayish. Now after having a black material, let's have the ball material, which is going to be a reddish one, and it's going to be 47 191, 181, 197 and 181. Okay, so 47, 197 and 181. So our ball is blush and the block is going to be, let's rename it and let's call it block. And similarly for the block, we are going to use reddish materials. So let's set it to 55, 38 and 52. So that's how our block's going to use. And the last one we have is for the diamond material. So it's going to be dark blue somewhat and 45, 132 to 55. So these are basic materials. Now let's set up its color. So let's first create a game manager and let's attach the game manager script to it. Now we have our game manager script, all the text we are already able to see, and we should also be able to see the score. And let's see what we need to create. First thing we'll need is the block. So let's create a 3D object cube and we'll call it block. And for the material, let's attach the block material. And we'll need to position the main camera. So let's position it at 30, 20, negative 15, and let's have it as 90. And similarly, we'll need to increase the size of the block. So that's how, as you can see, it's going to look. So this is a block and it has a box collider, nothing else is needed. And now let's create a player. So let's create an empty and we'll call it player. And let's reset its transform and let's position it. Let's add our sphere first. So similarly, it's going to be a 3D sphere and we'll call it ball and let's increase size to 2. And if we position the player positive 1.5, it's going to be positioned here, and we'll change the ball's material to look better. And the ball's not going to cast shadows and receive shadows. And similarly for the block, it may cast shadows and I don't think it will receive shadows. And after having our block, we have both our blocks and the player. So let's create some movement first for the player and afterwards we'll add the start script. So where should we begin? Yeah. Mm, Ball, it has a sphere collider and is set to trigger. The camera is already set up. Let's set up the directional lights so it looks almost pretty much better. Instead of 50, 90, 00, let's set its intensity to 3.5. Okay, it's too much. Real time 0.5, 1. 1 is almost too much. Let's position her a little bit higher. And as you can see, it's already pretty much bright. So we'll decrease it somewhat. And what would happen if we change the color? So let's not have its color change. So that's how our basic scene setup's going to look. And let's save this block as a prefab. And let's create a player and the ball movement, so they are going to be pretty much easier. So for that, let's create first a camera follow script, and next we'll create a player script, and let's also create the ball script. And we have already created the game manager. The ball will also need to create the block script, and the last script we are going to need is for the explosion, which I'm going to edit later, but we'll use it. So these are all the six scripts which we are going to use. The scene is already set up. There is nothing going on for the models. We'll use it later. And now let's start editing our player and the ball script. So the player is going to move forward and our ball is going to be moving with respect how the gravity affects the ball. There will be a start velocity for the ball, and we'll calculate it in the start, and it will change. So let's go inside Visual Studio, and as you already had a game manager, let's go inside the player. So for the player, let's first delete everything, and let's create a serialized field, and here we'll have a private float distance, how much distance we want to move in the x unit, the time, and the exposition which we are going to calculate afterwards. And similarly it will have a private float speed, and let's create a public bool as game started, which we'll use afterwards. Hmm. It's okay. So the background noise is not coming. So someone is playing music around here. So I thought it will disturb the recording. So let's first create the start function, and we'll set speed is equals to distance divided by time. So it's pretty much basic. It's going to be a constant velocity, and we'll create it inside the fixed update. And let's create a vector 3, temp new vector 3, and here we'll pass the input dot get axis, and we'll get the horizontal axis, and we multiply by, let's not multiply, we'll multiply by speed, and then we'll into 2f, and it's going to move in the forward direction, so we'll also multiply by speed there, and this whole vector will multiply by fixed dot time dot fixed delta time, and we'll set the transform dot translate and the temp, and afterwards let's check if it is out of bounds. So if temp dot x is greater than expose, then temp dot x is equals to exposition, and similarly if temp dot x is less than expose, then temp dot x is going to be negative exposition, and instead of less than exposition we'll need to call it negative exposition, and at the end we'll set the transform dot position to be temp. So that's it for the player. We'll add a condition for the has game started later, and let's go inside a ball. So the balls, it's going to be somewhat larger, but it will be doable. So we'll need to have what we'll need to have. Similarly, serialized field, private float, the distance, and the speed. And we are going to do it differently here because private float and not speed, time. We'll do it differently here because we'll need to have the ball not so it if it's constant velocity, it will not feel like uh, it's moving under gravity. So it's almost different. So we'll create functionality for that. Acceleration, and let's create the public bool as game started, and let's call the start function, and we'll set has game started to false, and the start speed is going to be 2 multiplied by distance divided by time, and acceleration is going to be start speed divided by time, and we'll add a negative sign, and let's add a multiplier 0.995 and f, because there will be some errors, and the speed is going to be start speed. And inside our fixed update function, let's create first speed. Will change the speed to be acceleration into time dot fixed delta time. And let's create a vector 3, and will equals true new vector 3, and 0 speed 0, and we'll multiply it by fixed delta time. Let's do the multiplication inside because we are going to use it only once, and afterwards we'll call the transform dot local position plus is equals to temp, and temp is going to be transform dot local position, and we'll check if temp dot y is less than equal to, maybe just less than 0f, then we'll change the velocity. So we'll set speed to be the start speed. So that should do the trick. And let's go inside Unity. So let's go inside Unity and let's attach the script. So it will have a player script, and we are going to move 20 units in 0.8 seconds, and the exposition is going to be, let's have it 10 for now. And similarly for the ball, we'll attach a ball script, and let's move it 16 in 0.4 seconds, and let's hit play. So now, as you can see, the ball is following the motion as we wanted to create. And now we need to have our camera follow the ball, and we'll need to set up our start screen. So this is the start text. The restart text is going to show at the end, and when we click start, our ball and the camera will start moving, and afterwards uh, we'll hide the start screen and we'll show our score text. So we'll need to create the game manager. I mean the scripts for the game manager, and let's put our game manager at the last. So let's go inside Visual Studio, and let's see where should we start. So for the player, has game started is equals to false. We are not going to move. The game has not started. And similarly for the ball, we are not going to move, the game has not started. And this both are public variables, so we'll be able to change it inside the game manager, which will reference it afterwards. And let's create a camera follow script. So here we'll have a serialized field, private transform, and let's call it player. And afterwards we'll have a private vector 3 offset, and the public bool can follow. So can follow is going to be false, because when the player dies, which we are going to do if it not steps on a block, we are going to destroy the player or destroy its game object, and here the transform will set a null reference exception. So we are setting up can follow for that. So offset is equals to transform dot position minus player dot transform dot position, and instead of update, we'll use the fixed update. And here the first thing we check, if we cannot follow, then return as transform dot position is equals to new vector 3 and transform player dot position dot z, transform dot position dot x, transform dot position dot y, and player dot position dot z plus offset dot z. So the z position is going to change depending on the player, and that's it for the camera follow. And the player is also set up, and similarly inside the ball is also set up. Now let's go inside the game manager. So the first thing we are going to create is the static game manager instance class, and we'll set it up in the awake method. So if instance, not instance L, if instance is equals to, why is this happening? Awake, and inside awake we are going to set up the instance. Instance is equals to null, instance is equals to this, else will destroy the game object. I don't know why I do it every time, but that's how we are going to do it. And the ball is also going to pretty much larger, but we'll do it later. And what we need to do, combo, camera follows done, player is also done. Yep, let's set up the game manager. So we have the game manager set up correctly, and inside the awake, let's create the start, and inside the start, let's add our all the game objects. So the first game object is the start button, uh, the score button or the score text, and the restart button, and then we have the player, ball, the block prefab, and we are going to spawn our shadow prefab here, which is just a plane, so we'll use it afterwards. So I'm just creating it now. Serialize field, and we'll need to use the TM Pro. And similarly it's going to be TM text, and the first text is the score text, diamond text, and then we should have our high score text, and the last ones for our high score and text. Hmm. So there's our text. Now after this, let's create a serialized field for the spawning position. So serialized field, and let's create a private vector 3 start pose and the offset, which is just 20, and private int score diamonds, and the last ones for the high score. And let's set up the delegates. So the first delegate is going to be public delegate void, and it's set combo animation, and we are going to pass a boolean is combo, and with this delegate we are going to create an event, public event, and it's going to be the set combo animation, and the event variable we are going to name as the update combo animation. So these are the two events, and for that we are going to have a private bool is combo, and public bool capital is combo, and get return is combo, and inside the set will invoke the is combo is equals to value, and will invoke the update combo, and will pass the is combo value. So currently we are not subscribed to it, so it's not going to do anything. So let's create our start. So inside the start we are going to set the start button dot set active to false or true, score button dot set active to false, and the restart button dot set active to false, and let's set the score to 0, and similarly high score is equals to player prefs dot as key, and let's get our high score, and if it has that key then we'll get it from the player prefs dot get int, and we'll get the high score, else we'll just set it to 0. And let's copy, and instead of high score we are going to get the diamond, or maybe let's call it diamonds, and if it does not, then similarly this one's for the diamond. Now after having this we'll set up the text. So the text is the score text, or text is equals to score dot to string. Similarly the diamonds text dot text is equals to diamonds dot to string, and high score text dot text is equals to high score dot to string, but we'll need to attach the best. So after instantiating, or whatever you call it as, we'll need to spawn the blocks, and this combo is set to false, so we'll not be showing any of the animations, and not this is combo, capital S combo. And let's spawn all the blocks. So let's create a function for that. Public void spawn block, and here inside the spawn block let's update the start position, int I is equals to 0, I less than 4 will spawn the blocks. Game object, the temporary block is going to be instantiate and will instantiate the block prefab. And inside the block prefab, let's create a float. Expose is going to be random dot range from -intf to intf, and temporary block dot transform dot position is going to be the start pose. Why is it start close plus new vector 3 with expose 0 0. So it will spawn at a random block, and temp block dot get component, and we'll get the block component. And inside the block component, we are going to create a script which is going to call the subscribe method. So let's call it subscribe to method. And we'll call it inside the game manager. And the subscribe to method will change how it's going to work afterwards. So it should spawn 4 blocks, and a player should be moving after this. And to have our player started, we'll need to create the game start, the game over, and our game quit and the game restart function. So let's create our game start first. So we'll hide the start button. Start button dot set active is false. We'll show the score button. Set active to true, and player dot get component player dot has game started is going to be true, and similarly ball dot get component ball dot has game started is going to be true. So nothing else is needed. And after that, let's create the public void game over, and similarly inside the game over we'll show the restart button. And after that, game object dot find game object with tag in camera, and dot get component camera follow, and we'll set the can follow to be false. And after doing that, we'll check if score is greater than high score. Then we'll set the high score to be score, and player prefs dot set in high score to high score, and we'll set the high score in text, high score dot to string. And let's create a quit and the restart. So inside our game quit, we are just going to call application.quit. And if we are inside the Unity editor, UED, then we'll call the Unity editor dot editor application dot displaying to false, and we'll end. Ah, and let's create the last but not the game restart function. And inside the game restart function, we'll call unity engine dot scene management dot scene manager dot load scene 0. So that should do the trick. it should spawn our blocks, and let's go inside the ball and we'll start spawning the blocks. Players, so let's see which scripts are complete. The camera follow is complete, the players complete, and there's uh, so many things to do. And let's go inside the ball. So for the ball, hmm, hmm, we'll spawn the block. Game manager dot instance dot spawn block. And there are so many things we will have to do. So let's go inside game manager and let's start attaching. So this one's the start button. Next we have our score button. Then we have a restart button. And next steps for the player. And next one's for the ball. And we have our block prefab. So less is not going to be needed. Score text, the diamond text, the high score text, and then we have our high score end text. So let's hit play, and obviously it should show errors. So object reference not set to an instance of an object. Subscribe to method temBlock.getComponentBlock. Component block. So we have, okay, it's okay, I got it. So it does not have block script attached to it. So let's hit play. And obviously there are not any errors, but instead of spawning plus offset, and the offset is wrong here. So where is our game manager? So the offset should be 20. And let's hit play. So we should have our block spawn, and now let's attach. So the quit will have the game quit function attached. Game manager, game quit. The start will have the game start function attached. And the restart is going to have the restart function attached. Game manager and game restart. So now if we hit play, we should be able to have a block moving left and right, and we don't have the camera follow function attached, so that's going to be a little bit of problem. But whenever the block hits, we'll destroy the block after. So where's the game player ball? Yep, we'll destroy it afterwards, but not now. So the last thing we are going to need is the camera follow, and inside the camera follow we'll need to attach the player. So let's hit play, and similarly the can follow, which is inside the camera follow, we need to set to true because by default booleans are set to false. So as you can see, we are almost having it correctly set up, but there is a problem with the physics calculation. So we'll just decrease the time step so it calculates more accurately, and this problem is going to persist even if you decrease it by 0.005, which is 5 times decreased. But I'm not going to fix it here for now, so we'll change it afterwards when we create a major game. So for now the functionality is almost set up. Now the next thing we'll need to create is updating the score, then spawning the diamonds. So we have a block, but we are not able to end the game. So next thing we'll do is let's do the game over and the diamonds. So as you can see now the correction is not happening, It was because the time step was too high, so there was a little bit of movement going lost at each time step. And as you can see, the time steps is almost it calculates so many times, so it builds up thousands of times, and there will be a little bit of offset. We'll need to add an offset corrector or some other method if we are going to use the time step, because I think there is no problem physics calculations, but it just so happens if we use the time step ourselves. So that's why I added a multiplier to the acceleration, because if we don't add it, it will be pretty much uh, con- pretty much visible that our ball is not getting spawned at the correct position. And we were not inside. Yep, we are not inside Unity. So I just added the respective all everything, added the block script to the block and all the functions to all the buttons. So that's just I've done. So now what we'll need to do is some update the score, and let's do the update the score and the game end first. So for updating the score and the game end, we'll need explosion prefab. So let's create that prefab, and we'll go inside the scene. Let's create an empty and we'll call it explosion, and let's reset its transform, and let's attach a particle system to it. And for now it's not going to show us anything, but let's set up this particle system. Are we inside Unity? Yes, we are inside Unity. So for this particle system, uh, what we'll do? So it's going to be spawned whenever the player dies. So it's not going to be pretty much. We don't need looping. The start lifetime similarly is going to be 3 seconds. The start speed will increase it to 25, and the start size we are going to have it maybe 0.5. We'll see how it works. There is no emission, there is no rate or time, but it's going to spawn a burst of 25 at the start. Similar, the shape will need a sphere of the radius doesn't matter, and we'll have velocity or lifetime. And what we'll need, yep, we'll need a velocity or lifetime, and instead of having orbital x, so is it showing like this? So let's set it up later. So we have our shape, and inside the renderer, instead of the, let's attach our sphere mesh, let's restart. And for the material, we'll attach our ball material. So as you can see, that's how it's looking. And we have our size or lifetime. So the size going to be the decreasing count, and we'll need to set the speed over lifetime. Okay, rand curve. So the speed over lifetime, it's going to decreasing, decreasing. This one is also going to be decreasing. Similarly, this one is also going to be decreasing. So that's some velocity or lifetime. And if we restart, we are able to see it. And we'll need to attach the explosion script to it, and we'll are going to save it as a prefab. So let's save it as a prefab, and let's delete this explosion. And we are going to update the score. So let's go inside Visual Studio, and let's create our update score functionality. So for updating the score, the first thing we'll need to check is for the ball, because To update the score, there is also an option for having its combo. Mm, 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 mm. So let's set up all the scripts. So let's set up the block script, and let's delete both the methods, and we'll need to create the plain prefab. So let's create a serialized field and the private game object, and first one's for the diamond prefab and next one's for the combo prefab, which is almost hmm. And next we have a private game object, and that is for the current diamond, and the next one's for the player. Let's create the start, and the player is going to be the game object dot find player because we are named it as player, and if random dot range from 0 till 5, let's have a 20% chance to spawn a diamond is greater than 0, then we'll return. Else we'll set the current diamond to be instantiate. What we are going to instantiate is the diamond prefab, and the current diamond or transform dot position is going to be transform dot position plus diamond prefab dot transform dot position, and update. It will automatically do the garbage collection. Yep, except for the first. So let's just create an update. If we don't have a player, then we'll just return. And let's create a player pose z. It's going to be player dot transform dot position dot z. And let's create the current z is going to be transform dot position dot z. And if the player pos z minus current z is greater than 15f, then we'll just destroy the game object. And we'll need to attach an on destroy, then game manager dot instance, and the update combo animation will unsubscribe. We didn't create it. So subscribe UPDAT update combo animation, and goal is combo. And what we are going to call it as shadow combo. Yep, combo prefab dot set active to is combo. And instead of subscribe, we'll subscribe to the method. And if 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 let's do if not current diamond, then return, else we'll destroy the current diamond. So that should be it for a block, and we have a camera follow working correctly. And similarly, there is nothing else needed for the players. So the only thing that's remaining is the game manager and our player, and we'll also fix up our player or the ball rather. So let's go inside our ball, And as you can see, we have just added the functionality for the moment, and we are spawning a new. But now, hmm, 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 hmm. Let's do. Speed is going to be start speed. Let's do the update score, and we are going to update the score. So if not, physics dot raycast transform dot position and v3 dot down, and we are going to 4f. If we are not colliding with anything, then we'll call the game manager dot instance dot game over, and we'll instantiate the explosion prefab, which I don't think we have created. So let's create a serialized field private game object, and we'll create the explosion prefab, and nothing else is needed. We'll instantiate the explosion prefab at transform dot position and identity quaternion, and after that, else if we are not having the game over, then we'll update the score. So to update the score, let's create a raycast at hit, and we'll do physics dot raycast, and we'll need to pass the transform dot position. Out is going to be set in a hit, v3 dot down, and 4f, and let's create, we'll need to pass the block hit dot transform dot game object, and now we'll need to create the function. So before our game or after the spawn block, we'll need to create our update score function. Let's create that function. So it's going to be public void update, and we are updating the score, and we'll get a game object, and we'll call it the current block, and let's not have anything for now. So inside the ball, we are going to call the game manager dot instance dot update score with the temporary block. So that should do the trick. And let's create our private on trigger enter. So I am finishing scripting here. So if we have other dot compare tag, and we'll compare the tag of diamond, we'll create it afterwards. And inside our explosion, we have not created function, but we'll also create public void set as diamond. So it will set up our diamond. So if we are diamond, then the first thing we'll do is destroy other dot game object. We'll destroy the diamond. Game manager dot instance dot update, and similarly we'll need to create the update diamond. And here we are not going to pass any parameters, so let's create the update diamond. And after having our update diamond, let's create the game object, and is going to be instantiate for the explosion prefab. And now we'll need to set up its position. So temp dot transform dot position is going to be other dot game object dot transform dot position, and it will show error 120%. No, it won't show error because the destroy is calculated in the next frame or the end of the frame. So we'll do temp dot get component explosion, and we'll set as the diamond, but we won't do it. It won't show error, but if we use destroy immediate, the game object is already destroyed, and if we try to access its transform position, it will show error. But it's not showing now. Maybe it won't show now because the destroy function is called when the frame ends or when all the calculations are ended. The destroy function is called, and we'll need to set up the set as diamond, which is only inside the explosion prefab. So let's create the serialized field, and here we'll have a private mesh, and let's call it diamond. And similarly, serialized field, private material, diamond material, and inside we'll have our and let's start. Oh, let's get the particle system. PS is equals to get component the particle system, and afterwards we'll need the particle system renderer, and we'll call it PSR. Similarly, it's going to be the particle system renderer, and we'll need to set the PS dot start size 25, and PS dot mesh, not PS dot mesh, PSR dot mesh is going to be the diamond, and PSR dot material is going to be the diamond material. So our block is also set up, the camera follow is also set up, our ball is also set up, player, and the last thing we'll need is the update score and the update diamond function. And we already connected the, what do you call it, as the events, so it won't show much problem. And let's do the update diamond. So the update diamond is easy, diamonds plus plus player prefs dot setint, diamonds to diamonds, and diamonds text dot text is equals to diamonds dot toString. But inside the update score, we'll need to do multiple things. So let's create a vector 3. Player pause is going to be player dot transform dot position. Vector 3 block pause is going to be the current block dot transform dot position. And if mathf dot apps, and it's going to be from the player pause dot x minus block pause dot x, and if it is less than 0.01f, then we'll increase the combo count, combo plus plus. I don't think it will be needed. We'll set the capital S combo to true. We'll need to increase the combo count, combo plus plus. High score Combo. Score is equals to 0. High score is equals to 0. Combo is equals to 0. We'll increase the combo count as combo is set to true. Else, we'll set the combo to be 1. And its combo will be set to false. And afterwards, we'll do score plus is equals to combo. And we'll update the score text to be score dot to string. Let's create a game object temporary shadow, and it's going to be instantiate the shadow prefab, and we'll need to create the shadow prefab. Destroy the temporary shadow after 3 seconds, and temporary shadow dot transform dot position is going to be transform dot position plus current block dot transform dot position. So this should do the trick, and that should finish your scripting, and we'll need to attach the respective game objects. So let's go inside Unity and we'll start debugging one by one. The first thing we'll need to create is our diamond. So for the diamond, we'll push the diamond here. Let's reset its transform. Let's change the scale to -90, and yeah, start size. So let's just delete everything, delete all the errors, and we have done our diamond. So the position is going to be 030, and the size going to be 50 50 50. So that's how diamond is looking, and similarly its material is going to be its own diamond material, and it's going to have a mesh collider which will be set to convex and trigger, and it will also have tag of diamond. Okay, so the tag is correct, and let's attach a tag of diamond, and the last thing we'll need to do is save it as a prefab. So this is our diamond, and let's delete it from the scene, and that should be it for our diamond. So after we have diamond, we created our explosion prefab, and now we'll need to create a combo prefab. Ooh. So similarly, the combo is going to be create empty. Let's reset its transform and let's call it combo. And the combo is not going to position somewhere. Let's position at -1.5. There's no need to change for the scale. Let's create a particle system, and as you can see, it's almost pretty much done. Let's set the overall duration to 2 seconds. Start lifetime to 0.5 second and start speed to 0. And I don't think that won't be needed for any start size, because for the mesh we are going to use the black, and instead of cube we are going to use the plane. So that's how it's looking. And render alignment to world, and we'll change the spawn rate, which is emission 0. It's going to be birth count of 1, and we'll need to change its size over lifetime. So the shape, instead of cone, let's set it to sphere, and let's decrease its size. And 0.5 seconds should be more than enough. There's no need to change its size, but we'll need to change its size over lifetime. And instead of having it 0.77, let's see how it looks now. Okay, we'll need to just restart. So the start size is set to 1. Mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. Let's set the looping to off. Let's restart and let's position negative 1.5. Let's position at negative 1 and let's restart. Okay, so negative 1 is almost pretty much better. There is no need to position at negative 1.5. Let's restart and let's delete all these errors. Restart, restart, restart. 0.8 to 1.2, 1.1, 0.85. Let's have it flat and let's decrease. Let's set it to 1. Let's remove it and we'll do size of lifetime again. So size of lifetime 1, flat 0.89, so that should work correctly. So okay, so 0.9 is almost done. And again we'll save this as a prefab and doesn't look like we saved our explosion. Okay, it's in the models, we'll need to save it, move it inside the prefab. So we have our explosion and this is our combo, and let's delete both the combo and the explosion. So let's delete the combo, let's delete the explosion, and we'll need to attach a plane to our block. So let's go inside block, let's attach a 3D object and it's going to be plane point not. Let's add one. Inside the y-axis it's going to rotate by 45 and it's not going to make much difference, and point not 125 and similarly point not 125, and for the y position 0.56. So that's how it's going to look almost, and we'll save it and we'll attach an animator component and we'll need to create a new animator controller, and what we'll need to call it, plane controller. And let's attach that plane controller to our animator controller and let's go inside the animation window. So I hope you cannot see the animation window, you can only see it if it's docked inside. So let's select the plane and we'll create a new script and it's going to be inside prefabs, and let's set up the idle. Let's add the property transform scale. The scale is also correct. Let's set the sample size to lower 30. Let's go to the 15th and we'll multiply this by, it should increase. It should, yeah, it should increase. Multiplied by, multiply by 1.5. Yep. Let's multiply by 1.5. So that should do the trick. And now Let's put our animation tab here. If we play, we should be able to see it moving. And it's not much large, but it should be doable. And let's close this tab, and inside the block we'll attach a plain prefab and a diamond prefab. And let's go inside the scene. Inside the game manager, we have not attached a shadow prefab, which is the combo, and explosion prefab. I think we'll need it inside the player, or sorry, the ball. So there's our explosion prefab, and now if we hit play, there should be errors, but it's not showing. So okay, it is working, but trigger. Our diamond is not working somehow, but we are able to see if we are hitting a combo. So if we are not hitting a combo, so our game is almost finished, and there is a play again text, and we didn't destroy the ball. So the only problem that's remaining is when our game ends, we'll need to destroy the ball or destroy the player. So recast it, game manager dot instance dot game over, and let's go inside the ball, and we'll need to destroy what we'll need to destroy its parent. So let's do destroy transform dot parent dot game object. So that should do the trick, and I think there is just a problem with our diamond, so we'll need to fix it up in Unity. So for the diamond, I think we have not set up it convex and its trigger. So that should be a problem with the ball. Yep, we have not attached a rigid body component because as you can, if you have done anything before, there is no need to use gravity. Let's move up, and now our we should be able to collect the diamonds because rigid body does not work with diamonds, and there are no diamonds currently, but we should be able to see one spawning afterwards. So that's how our scene's going to look, and I think we have not attached our explosion prefab, not set up the diamond, which is inside our explosion script, and I don't know why is it not causing any errors. So for the model, we'll use the diamond, and for the material, we'll use our diamond material. So I think that should be it for this video. And let's see our game playing. So if we hit the start, we are able to see our shadows, we are able to see the combo, and we are also able to see the diamond. So that's how the game is going to look, and that should be it for this video. And if you did like the video, do like and subscribe the channel, and if you have any suggestions for the video, do comment it below in the comment section. And if you have watched till now, thank you for watching. And I've set up a Patreon, and there's a link for the donation in my YouTube page. So if you want to support me and you want to see me creating more advanced tutorials, which always I'll be doing it afterwards, but if you can support me, I should be able to do it after quickly, and maybe I'll have the quality bumped up, and it should help grow the channel. So thank you for watching, and see you guys in the next video. And our play again is working.